mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. But you know,
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come low. 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 Till my speaker come. I'll keep going till my speaker come low. I'll keep going till my speaker come low. I'll keep going till my speaker come low. I'll keep going till my speaker come low.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, Lex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. 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 How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. I can run this town. I can run this town.
your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Kidia.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back on into ESL Challenger League season number 50. This is cup number 3 of Oceania, and we are starting to get toward the pointy end of things. It's consolidation final, otherwise known as lower bracket final time. And so we've had to pull out the big guns. Elvish Guy back here again, of course. And Pineapple, aka Pilski, is back on in here for another day. Looking forward to casting with you again, Pilski. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Look, you know, they used to call me Pineapple back in high school. A bit of a funny story, really, but I won't get into it right now. Honestly, you know, I couldn't be more ready for this broadcast. I'm in my peak form. Yesterday, I saw some chatters saying that it was the best they'd ever heard me cast. Unfortunately, I wasn't even casting yesterday, so, you know, that one really hurts. You know, honestly, really upsetting stuff. And look, hopefully, I can try to step up and put on an absolute show here. And if I cast like absolute trash, then it was me. It's your boy, Pineapple Supreme.
Yeah, true. Look, I think we can turn it around. Don't you worry about that one. Obviously, we've got Mindfreak and Rooster for us tonight. Like I said, a lower bracket final match, so it should be a relatively decent one. But there's a lot to break down when it comes to these two teams and how things are looking heading through, I'd say, more of the latter stages of 2025, and whether or not there will even maybe be a latter stages of 2025s in the case of someone like a Rooster. Obviously, Mindfreak put together, again, you know, yet another iteration of a Tux-led lineup that has been doing reasonably well for themselves. Actually, watching that game yesterday against Semperfi, they were able to push them on Dust 2. Their CT side of Dust 2 actually looking quite solid. Let themselves down a little bit on the T side, but, you know, respectable enough performance. Ultimately did go down 2-0, so they find themselves here in that lower bracket final against Rooster. But the more interesting discussion point at the moment, I think, is, well, is this the last cup that we're going to get to see Rooster play, with the announcement that we've seen coming through from Thunder Down Under? Now, that's an interesting name coming through, but the rumor there is, or the announcement there is, that TJP and ASAP are departing Rooster and going to join forces with Dexter, Alistair, and Liaz and create a new team and see where things can go from there. So, you know, this might be the last couple of games that we do actually get to see from Rooster, and hopefully they'll be good ones.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. As you can see, the last fight that we did have between these two teams did have a very, very close showing. 14-16 in the favor of Rooster there. Train reply from Mindfreak. And I'm sad that they changed the graphic, honestly, because to me, it felt like Rooster, they got sick of these close matches and they decided to 113-11 Mindfreak on the last map. Unfortunately, wasn't the case. Very, very close stuff, going to all 24 plus rounds on all 3 of these maps. So it can't get closer than that, which, look, begs the question. Number one, Mindfreak, I'm assuming in the last confrontation when Rooster was a little bit more of an actual lineup and not breaking up, pushing them very close. You've said some positive things about their performance against Semperfi just the other day. So, look, anyone's game really between Mindfreak and Rooster here, because Rooster, as mentioned before, is a dead team walking, that would usually be a issue for a lot of teams. However, Rooster is the kind of team that if they just let the pressure off, they might just decide to start running it down and could be even more difficult to play against, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know how to feel about this matchup. I think generally speaking, on paper, I'd look at it and say Mindfreak probably lose this 2-0. But, you know, recent history, like you're reiterating there, with regard to that last matchup, very, very close. But even going a bit deeper than that, you know, Dust 2 in the match prior as well was a fairly close 13-11 loss for Mindfreak. And yes, granted, overall the head-to-head is looking quite favorable for Rooster, but taking into account the scorelines, aside from one map, actually every single map here has been a winnable one for Mindfreak. And who's to say that that's going to be impossible today? Obviously, we'll have to touch on the veto as well and how that's going to impact things. We do have today Dust 2, Nuke, and then Inferno as the decider. So Overpass being taken away by Mindfreak is kind of a bit of a two birds, one stone-esque situation. That is Rooster's best map. That is their go-to map. You take that away, it's removing one of the maps that you don't like to play and also Rooster's best map. So very happy with that. Obviously, they've angled in towards the Dust 2 coming through here as well. Get the videos on our screen as we do discuss this. And like I said, you know, Dust 2, it looked pretty good yesterday for Mindfreak. I mean, T-side was woeful, don't get me wrong. They really struggled on T-side. But once they got onto CT side, they actually looked like they could probably beat Semperfi on that map had it not been for, you know, again, a couple of those individual moments from some of those Semperfi players, which you have come to expect in the firepower department that I think kind of got them over the line. But yeah, actually quite solid stuff from Mindfreak. The Rifler's doing well. Tux on the AWP was doing pretty well as well. We'll see if they can take it to Rooster. I think it's definitely a winnable map on Dust 2. Nuke and Inferno, jury's kind of a little bit more out there, but precedent is set that Mindfreak could make this one close. So let's find out as we jump into the pistol.
Yeah, about a month ago, it did have it as the decider map between these two teams, and it came all the way down into a 16-14. TJP on the line, under pressure. A lot of T's running all the way up. Catwalk caught with his pants down, but not fully ducked in this case, as he's only copped a goosh to the back of the head.
Can't believe you've gone with the true Aussie representation to start things off here for the ESL Challenger League Oceania lower bracket final in cup number 3. A little bit of toing and froing in through the mid doors there for Swerzian. Having a little bit of a look. He's got some nice space here, but he's got multiple members heading in his direction. So to get away with 2 is absolutely insane. Both ASAP and TJP going down, and already the T side starting to look better today for Mindfreak than what it did against Semperfi yesterday.
That's true. Time for Terry to turn it on, though. That's exactly what he's doing. Heating up from Heaton. Absolutely beautiful 2K from him, and the rest of Rooster spaced a little bit too poorly to trade. As I say that, though, Tux does finally eliminate the threat on the B site. Flash into mid to try to set up Slimy to turn this one back around, but nonetheless, Rooster will get that smoke down on Dora and start to get that bomb plant down.
Yeah, a couple of problems here for Rooster, one of those being the flank of Drox. He's actually decided to go back into upper dark to just reinforce the hold. And Rooster trying desperately to find themselves a pick. The only one will go in the other direction in the way of Tux onto Chell, which leaves the job up to Slimy here in the 1v2. And he's unfortunately not going to be able to do that. So DPR cleans it up, and Mindfreak will take the pistol.
Yeah, nicely done. And Vi will be coming through as a result there for Mindfreak, who will be on the T side. The colours on the HUD throw me off a little bit here. Force Spy coming in here from the Rooster boys. I do not want to let this one get out of control. It's a classic. Chell on the scout. Some pistols and armor. Couple little rifles mixed in. Not too much util to work with. Progression smoke out there on long. The long timing won't be taken, but Rooster just going to have to consider the fact that a Mindfreak player may have made it out because the smoke will obscure their vision. In the meantime, contact into the middle of the map here for Mindfreak. He's going to walk up behind this mid-door smoke. But not feeling the need to really rush this round too much for the time being.
Patience a virtue at the moment, really, for Mindfreak, isn't it? Really, really slowing it down. Not wanting to run into the scout of Chell, I guess.
Yeah. It's a big stack on that A side of the map. It's just Terry. So mid to P is definitely going to be the play that you'd want to be looking for here, despite the fact that Terry has been looking dangerous. Maybe didn't perform as well as expected or as he may have wanted him to when they did actually go overseas to ESL Pro League. But here, at least domestically, he is a bit of a monster. Progression molly and a flash to just try to dissuade any of these CTs from pushing Cat. And it does seem like Drox is going to throw up a little bit of a progression smoke here while the rest of Mindfreak do explore middle.
Oh, it's going to be a gamble stack from Rooster on A. And it looks like they're going to gamble incorrectly in this instance because it would seem that Mindfreak are headed in the direction of the B bomb site. So Terry nice to take himself a nice duel there down into middle, but it's not really going to do too much to affect the round unless it incentivizes Rooster to try to retake this B site 5-on-4. There's obviously a discussion around whether or not maybe they should save the guns instead. A flash out into mid does at least get Rooster a little bit more space. I don't know that they're really looking at committing to this. Maybe they're just looking for another pick. If they can get that, then they'll fully go for it. Still floating around, still having a look. But this seems like they're kind of just hanging on for something at this stage.
I'd agree. Setting up for exits. Mindfreak starting to make their way towards upper tunnel. There's already 2 players lying in wait here. Going to be very hard to get out. TJP and ASAP just tearing them asunder. Everyone falling. And all of those rifles hitting the deck. Now ASAP's going to show us just how good his circus act is. Juggling the AKs into the hands of these CTs.
Yep.
You're right. They never intended on going for that one. They just wanted to make that as expensive as possible. And as a result, I mean, they've ended up with 4 rifles. This is essentially going to be a buy round for them, and they bankrupt the T side.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. It's worked out as well as it could have, essentially, for Rooster when you decide to stack the wrong bomb site. And all is, I think, predicated off the fact that Terry gets that pick. If Terry doesn't get that pick into middle, Rooster will probably look at that and go, well, we'll just save on A, and we'll have another crack with the upgraded, pistols and the scout and whatnot. But instead, they've got that player advantage. They think, maybe we can put a bit of pressure on, and they certainly are now. That FAMAS of Terry is causing quite a ruckus. Another opening pick for him in yet another round. But Swerzian has lurked out through the mid doors, and he spotted Terry going back into B. He's taken a lot of space.
This could be a really disgusting timing. Spotted out by Terry, though, and now he's kind of pinned in the open. If Terry didn't get it done, ASAP would have swung from window. Got it done himself. Now, messy exchange. Chelios spamming, actually, I think, over from car side to get that one done. And just a couple of awkward exchanges. There was potential here and there for Mindfreak to make something happen in that round, but unfortunately, none of the duels that they were looking for quite went their way. Now it's just DPR 1-on-5.
Well, this is where it's going to start to get a little bit problematic. I mean, Mindfreak definitely had their issues on the T side yesterday. It looked like they were going to start well on the T side today, but it's very quickly turned back on its head, and this should be another very clean round out for the Rooster lads as they keep 5 guns alive. So massive upgrades in the last round, 5 guns alive in this round. CT economy is looking very good, and as you put it, Mindfreak pretty much bankrupt.
Yeah, they're double eco. This is a tech force every day of the week. And indeed, a little bit of util behind it, but not much. 3 grenades to work with here. Swerzian deciding if he wants armor or if he wants a couple more nades. He's going to opt for the latter route, as looks like they're going to prep themselves for a quick B hit here.
Well, Incend is going to be there to greet them. And they'll turn away, so it's going to be toward middle that they'll go. TJP, Chell, and ASAP all getting involved in the kill feed. ASAP able to double it down, and TJP has been tagged up, so he's not too eager to overcommit to the fight, which ends up being a pretty wise decision. Still having a little bit of a look here onto Zune, but ultimately we'll see that triple go in the direction of ASAP. A nice and easy anti-eco for Rooster. 4 guns alive. Money continues to grow.
Yeah, well and truly in the swing of things now. Orbs out for Chell. It's going to start stacking up even more cash than they already have. 5+K on all of these players. And even after saving this round here, Mindfreak are not going to have many nades to work with in the next round, which is going to make it hard to trade down grenades with this CT buy. Not to mention the fact that they need to make sure that they don't let Chelios take too many of these angles. Was what I was about to say. That's already a freebie for him down suicide. Only anti-eco, but if he's hitting shots like that already, then he's going to start to demand respect when the gun rounds roll around.
It's going to have a crack for a couple more here. Going to be pressured through the doors, and there's another good connection. Solid from Chell, aware that Drox is on his way. Will miss that flick, but happy to take the fight anyway. Knows that he's got the advantage of having the armor, and so will make short work of Drox. The grenade up top, largely unrequired, as TJP will finish off a couple, and it does seem like the engine of Rooster is slowly getting going.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way that this game is starting to unfold here, I don't think we're going to be seeing OTs. I don't think we're going to be seeing this go to 24 rounds. This looks like Rooster are powering up for a stomp on this CT side. It's up to Mindfreak to kind of change that narrative now. Have finally got the guns and the utility they've been looking for a little while now. Going to be a long start here for the side of Rooster. They secure that long control. DPR not feeling like he wants to try to contest that shell. Posted up on this line in lower dark. Just waiting for a mistake, but feels pressured by the fact that the T's could have started to scale up Cat and instead will fall away. Trying to blow a hole open in the smoke. Doesn't find anything there either.
Yeah, a bit of space being taken by Rooster as they start to explore lower dark and have a little bit of a look in toward middle. That flash will allow... it was Mindfreak, of course, that's exploring. Again, been baited by the colors.
Legit.
It's just the nature of the beast with the color scheme that the two teams have chosen.
Yes.
But it's Drox that's working his way in toward middle there, and of course now they're starting to work their way up short as well. Molly's to greet them, to slow them down. As Rooster just try to buy a bit of time on that clock.
And this is where you're trading down grenades. I was going to say the T side shouldn't have as many as the CTs, but they've done a pretty good job of being quite efficient with their util. Aggression smokes into middle. Trying to apply a little bit of a pressure. You got a triple smoke straight out of upper dark as well. So both Terry and Chelios under a little bit of pressure, being the only players over on this B side of the map.
Chell's ready to go, but Mindfreak have already walked their way out past the smoke. Luckily, Terry has also got a smoke to play around, and so he's going to be able to pick himself up one at least to shore up the rotates, though the problem is the side hold has gone wrong. Zune will now need to salvage, though, as Terry and Slimy, once again, able to activate, and it's Terry for the 4K that will clean that round up quite comfortably in the end for Rooster.
It's absolutely monstrous playing that pivot position from B ramp. Not something that Mindfreak were able to deal with, and that's just not a particularly convincing looking gun round. Mindfreak not really showing up to this game at Dust 2 just yet, and that's concerning because for me, I'm looking at, Rooster kind of being a dead team walking. I'm thinking today's the day you get yourself a dub and try to get into the grand final of this ECL Cup, right? But like I said, it might not be that easy when there's no pressure on these Rooster players and they decide to just start unleashing and, taking fights, playing with full confidence, playing like they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that it does seem like Mindfreak need to figure things out a little bit on the T side as well. We're starting to see a couple of rough games from them in a row on the T side of Dust 2, which is their map pick. So that seems a symptom of a bigger problem. There's another opening kill for Chell with the AWP off screen. And meanwhile, Mindfreak look to challenge up short. That'll be TJP, caught unawares, and now the rest of the job again falls on the shoulders of Terry, who's been quite solid and gets himself a nice double to slow things down for Mindfreak. Slimy still holding on to long and happy to at least just keep that space, allow the rotations to come in. The unfortunate reality is, though, Chell's been picked off there, so we're back into a 2-on-2, and now ASAP's probably going to have to put in a bit of a shift. Don't know if he's been working it too hard this map, but certainly gets the job done this time around. And that is a 5th for Rooster.
Well done. Really recovering well from the slow start early on. Had the money that they've needed to work with this entire game, and it really just kind of feels like Mindfreak is limping through this T side. No excuse now. Finally have the full buy that they've been looking for. All the nades, they've got the AWP out as well. Took a while to get going, but this is where we need to see. Like you mentioned, this is their map pick. What is your go-to round that is going to be able to finally, break this streak of Rooster? Bucks posted up on the cross. Doesn't quite hit the leg shot. Very close to be able to leg one through the door there. Oh, dark control being taken. Mindfreak just working their way through their protocols. There's a totem pole boost, though. Need a flash over the top. Indeed, it'll be one thrown by Drox to push Chelios off the line. Really nicely worked.
Oh, the nades onto both Zune and Drox. Really doing quite a number. Terry, a little bit unlucky there, spamming his way in the direction of Tux. Looked like he was pretty on point, but it is Tux that will fire back a little better.
Yeah.
No traces there, by the way. M4A1S.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, 100% like you said. Maybe just a little bit unlucky. Is the first opening in a while, the first advantage in a while it's felt like Mindfreak have. They need to make sure that they take hold of this round with both hands. Ensure that they convert it.
You can see Rooster sort of getting up to a little bit of funny business, though. They've set TJP up close on short behind that smoke. Chell's still looking for some damage through the mid doors, which he's going to be able to achieve onto Tux. So it's not been made easy for Mindfreak here with that 5-on-4 that they had, as they've kind of been harassed on their way through this map. One for ASAP there as well, by the way. So we're back into a 3-on-3 now, but with only 30 seconds left, Mindfreak may have squandered the opportunity that was given to them by that opening pick. Slimy drops down, heads on offer. It's apparently Slimy and Chell that are going to be the ones to go down, and Rooster will now turn their sights towards ASAP to see what he's going to get up to. I mean, there's money here. He can go for this.
Yeah, it's winnable for him. He's going to wrap around towards long. Usually that would catch one of the T's off guard, especially if they're going to play the post plant for ramp. But look, exactly this. Plant for short, one player playing from Gandalf, and a double setup inside a short. It's going to be hard for ASAP to make this work. A lot of these T's are very low, though. DPR, the first on offer, will be converted well by ASAP, but he's...
Got a molly. Don't know that he's going to be able to sit this defuse, though. If he would have put the molly in towards short, even that might have been wishful thinking, but no time, and unfortunately, no chance at a round win here. ASAP is not even going to get that finishing blow onto Drox. I don't think he's quite got him, but Drox will actually end up going down to the bomb. So an expensive round, of course, for Mindfreak, but a round win nonetheless.
I mean, exactly that. That is going to at least slow down the economy of Mindfreak a little bit. Maybe potentially put them in a position where they can be soft reset, because Rooster have got nothing but cash to continue buying, continue reinvesting, and trying to stack up those rounds as a result of the fantastic start that they've had on this CT side. Still sticking to the singular ult for now. But nicely worked from Mindfreak. They were tested a fair bit in that round. They were given a nice opening pick, courtesy of Tux on the ult. And things got a little complicated with some aggression from TJ, some aggression from Chelios in towards middle. They were still able to just simplify things with a pretty straightforward play up cat. Just take some duels with the rifles and win them quite cleanly.
A little bit of toing and throwing there, maybe a slight tech issue, but seems to be all sorted. I mean, you can see the money still in a pretty awkward spot for Mindfreak. Tux has had to go down to a Tech 9. And no orb for him. But 3 rounds already on the T side for Mindfreak is certainly a little more healthy than where we saw them at this stage of the game yesterday. So they can pop that up to, you know, maybe 4 or 5. With how decent their CT side looked, I think we can still actually expect a pretty close map. I still want to see a bit more out of Rooster before I really count my chickens, so to speak.
On control secured by Rooster nice and early on. It's not really been something that Mindfreak have ever been contesting. And once again, going to work their way back towards Cat after forfeiting that long control. I'd really like to see them contest that early round or maybe in the mid round at some point. And maybe that's exactly what they're going to do this round. Drox inserted for an aggressive lurk on Cat to just try to hold the control over there. And the rest of Mindfreak trying to make their way towards long. The flash has to be good here for Tux.
Chell is not even going to be affected by a flash. There was one thrown, but it's way too late. DPR had already peaked. Don't know if that's a miscommunication from Mindfreak or an intentional decision to peak dry, but Chell will make no mistake. Now with some of that util being tossed over the top, ASAP has his spidey sense tingling that there might be something headed in his direction, so he's going to go scurrying away back into the B bomb site. 30 seconds left on the clock here, and Mindfreak have got to get a move on. But where are they going to go? Zune down to the headshot of TJP. Drox falling to Chell. Orb set up on the line, and both Swerzian and Tux, without many options, they've only got an incend. Where do you go from here?
They're stuck up catwalk without a paddle, unfortunately. Tuck's going to try to take a gun away, but instead he loses it all. Didn't have much to begin with. Just a tech 9 Swerzian looking to pad some stats so he can give himself a pat on the back once this game is all said and done, but instead he'll die after time.
Yeah.
If you look in the bottom right of your screen, he does not have $1 to his name. Looking like my bank account out here. Unlucky.
Yeah, TJP really lets him know at the end there as well. You could see a little shake of the crosshair here. He's like, oh, no, buddy, that's just not it.
TJ's probably sent him the McDonald's app form. Bro needs a part-time job ASAP. That bank account is looking sad.
Attack timeout. Going to be taken. Assume this one is from Mindfreak on that T side. But, you know, what are you even really discussing here? Is it, what are we going to buy in this round? What are we going to do going forward? Because obviously Swerzian's up the creek without a paddle. He's going to have a Tech 9 dropped over to him. But
yeah,
realistically speaking, there's not enough to really put together a solid buy in this round.
I mean, the most efficient uses of these tack timeouts is, number one, come up with a plan that can potentially get you a little bit of an upset on the half buy. But overall, you need more of a macro adjustment because, you know, they pretty cleanly on this CT side thus far. I think, you know, I didn't think they had a bad idea to go back and contest long. That probably wasn't the round for it because it felt like Rooster were very much set up for it. They had the ult ready to go. Indeed, again, it's going to be a long contest and the flash will not find Chelios for the second time in a row. It's just open pickings and blowing open the smoke. He'll be able to find another pick on the cross.
More than just another. Chell is getting everything that he could have hoped for. Eventually does get brought down, but the damage is already done. It is just Tux. And he'll hide inside the smoke with P250 and hope that he can get a headshot or two. It's not going to eventuate. 7-3. So that tack timeout, you have to hope, was not for that round. That it was perhaps for this round instead.
Yeah, they need a bigger adjustment. I don't mind the fact that they kind of conditioned the long control, though. They test the waters maybe a little bit with the pistols. 2 rounds left to play in this half. Look, a 7-5 would definitely feel a lot better given how one-sided a lot of these rounds have felt. This has felt very convincingly like it's been going the way of Rooster. Round in, round out. Less of a commitment to that long control Rooster. You aren't going to have the ult posted up over here. Instead, it's Chelios potentially trying to get a pick over the top of the smoke towards Catwalk. Once again, long control secured. There's the nade into the smoke to break it open and try to give Chelios an angle. Another follow-up nade. He's really going fishing in middle for a pick, but unable to find it yet again.
Oh, he might get the chance. It's bitten off more than he can chew this time around. Chell goes down early. Bit of a live by the sword, die by the sword playstyle being brought to this game by Chelios.
It's a kind of a nice read from Mindfreak. I wonder if they really felt like, you know, 2 HE nades breaking open the smoke. That's definitely got a read like, okay, they're really looking for something here.
Well, Slimy's got a lot of ground to cover. Holding both short and long at the moment. TJP starting to pivot across to help him out.
He's got too much to do. He needs some help. The rest of Rooster starting to pinch in towards middle.
Trox could get an important kill or two here. Just misses a couple too many shots on ASAP and he'll be collapsed upon by TJP. Good coordination. The Slimy in onto Zune as well. And it starts to fall apart once again for Mindfreak. They have control of ramp, but they don't have the sight, the incend, keeping them at bay for now. And with 20 seconds on the clock, they'll scramble to get the plant on the floor. It's given time for Rooster to rotate their way round to bedroom. And ASAP leading the charge. A flash, though. A good flash is not enough, really, as it does still result in a favorable trade for Rooster. It's on to Tux versus TJP, the veterans of both rosters. TJP up on top of Carr finds the head. Rooster get themselves another 4K from TJP, and they will continue to go storming through this half.
That's just the individual brilliance. I mean, this man is joining a team called Thunder from Down Under for a reason. An absolute monster in the server. That was a better round from Mindfreak, though. That's the classic kind of round where it's like, okay, you took the tack timeout. We had some good adjustments. We caught Chelios with a really nice flash play in towards middle. Then you had the A players that were under immense pressure with the long and short split coming out. I felt like Mindfreak were in control of that round, but just individual brilliance and some nice play in the mid round from Rooster. That's really where they show they're a cut above a lot of the other teams in Oceania, even though they are no longer a team.
Well, Nice opener for Terry, and another one for Chelios. It seems like the woes will continue for Mindfreak. You've also got to deal with Chell. This far progressed. Eventually, he decides better of it and gets back out to safety. So 3 players alive. Mindfreak have to try to negotiate what will be one of the last rounds that they have a crack at in this first half.
Going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Shell's posted on the line. Can't quite catch Twerzian on the cross. So that's a little bit of a lifeline. I don't know if that's what he meant to do with that smoke. Looked like a mid-to-B lineup, but he will smoke doors so that they can try to take a duel up towards Catwalk.
Terry not going to be pushed away by that molly. So still able to hold close. That seems to be expected, but TJP still gets the job done. That was a pretty straightforward half and a very similar scoreline for Mindfreak as to what they faced yesterday. So hopefully their CT side is going to be just as good. We'll find out when we come back from the halftime break.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. Feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Heading back on in for the second half. Rooster looking pretty damn solid, but that was done on the CT side. And once again, I'll reiterate the fact that Mindfreak very nearly came back from a similar scoreline to this one yesterday against Semperfi when they were on the CT side for the second half as well. So I'm still willing to give Mindfreak the benefit of the doubt, give them a pistol and maybe a gun round before I start to write them off.
Look, potentially so, but you can put all theoreticals aside and just boil this down to the brass tacks of it. Rooster are fragging. Mindfreak are not fragging right now. No one really stepping up. No one really putting together anything to write home about. So firepower-wise, I mean, I felt like for the most part, Rooster had the better macro last half. But even in the rounds where it felt like Mindfreak was putting something together, someone on Rooster would step up, and you could see TJP's got 19 kills for a reason. Had a couple of impact multi-frags. Terry had one round. He just won by himself with a 4K. Chell was consistently just putting the AWP shots through. So these are the kind of win conditions that you'd be expecting from Rooster.
Yeah. That can shift, though, with the half change. I think that was a big talking point yesterday. We were quite doom and gloom about Mindfreak at this stage of the game yesterday as well. And then Tux managed to get the AWP in his hand on the CT side, started to get rolling. Zune had a pretty good second half. Swerzian definitely as well came online. So, again, I'll just hold off and see how this pistol goes. If the pistol goes the way of Rooster, I think I'm going to start to be convinced that this is probably game over for Mindfreak. But until that stage, jury is out. And it's a very default spread from Rooster to start this round off. ASAP waiting patiently for Tux, but he loses that duel. And immediately, the second half gets off to a good start for the CT side.
Tux winning that duel inside the bedroom. He's looking a little comfier now for Mindfreak as the smoke goes out onto double doors. We'll give Rooster access to Cat. Slimy pushed away inside of upper dark. Chelios wants to go and take this control back, but punished by Swerzy, and things go bad to worse for Rooster. Terry hits the deck as well, courtesy of a nice shot from Zune over on that Cat side, I think. Just peering down from that A site.
It's an awkward spot to be in now for Rooster. I mean, just looking at this beautiful belt of util that TJP has got that feels like it's going to be largely irrelevant. Smoke, molly, 2 flashes to try to get them into the A site, but what they need is headshots, and there's one onto Zune. Unfortunately, it's not a killing blow, and so that will pretty much be the round done and dusted. TJP has got the kill onto Swerzian, but I just don't see how he can get him here as he watches the grenade come sailing into his face.
Catch that, brother.
Yeah, that's the pistol round on the board for Mindfreak, and this will be where they slowly but surely start to come online, I think.
You might be onto something. We do have a cheeky little force bite being prepped here by Rooster. There's nothing worse than winning yourself a really nice pistol. You buy up all your lovely rifles. You're showing them off. Look at my shiny M4 hot rod. And then, you know, some Tech 9s come on onto your site. You take a quick pee, execute or something like that, get into an after plant, and then it's usually very sad stuff. So see if Rooster can cause a little bit of an upset here. Pushed away by the molly in upper dark, working their way back towards lowers. Smoke goes onto double doors. Not really any presence in the middle of the map at all from Mindfreak. Just playing quite hands-off towards Cat. That smoke in upper dark has gone quite deep for Swerzian. Wants to try to play the range with the M4A1S. And without any real moves towards Cat outside of a flash to just make the CTs respect that angle and potentially deny any info over there, it does seem like Rooster are prepping for a mid to B here.
Certainly does. More of a contact mid to B so far. They haven't even thrown the mid to B smoke for CT spawn. Obviously, they can still do that, but really waiting patiently here to find the perfect timing, and they've decided to go with 1 minute left on the clock. Swerzian up in the window, makes short work of Terry and then Chelios, and turns on a dime to take that fight to Slimy. USP not really helping him out all that much with the Tech 9, wants to go for more. But happy to just wait for the rest of the reinforcements to come across, as that's a wise decision. He was low, could have been in danger of giving up his gun, but this now looks like it's pretty doomed for Slimy.
Just wants to do some damage. Take some rifles away, but Swerzian just swings out of the smoke. This guy is definitely got a screw loose. I saw about 5 repeats from window there. You know, he's been taking a pounding from the majority of Rooster this game. I think he is starting to feel like he needs to prove a point. And look, point taken. Bloody great B site hold from Mindfreak. They swat away any attempts at an upset with the Tech 9 force, and will force Rooster consequently on an eco round. So a chance for Mindfreak to come back. And you might be a prophet of some kind here, Jordan, because look, everything's coming together just the way you described it.
I mean, I've watched this game yesterday, you know, and it's almost like history repeats itself. Nade into the smoke there. Swerzian going to have a little bit of a look. Does not see much on the Xbox jumper, but still going to stick around. And as a result, he's receiving a couple of sound cues here and there.
Look, we've got quite a few models on the catwalk here. See if Rooster can put on a nice show. Drox has definitely got his eyes on that. Swerzian checks TJP, who is looking for a timing through the double doors, won't be able to find it. And there's just really not a lot else going on for Rooster here. Chell's chilling with the bomb inside bedroom, or outside bedroom rather, and Slimy's just hoping to get a 1 dig or 2 to open things up.
That shot's gone a bit wayward. But he's given himself a little space out on short now, and the util dump commences. Nice shot in there from Zune. Drox is now low, but Chell, having fallen, is going to be pretty much the end of this round. Bomb is just at the end of long doors. And so, yeah, Rooster have got the site, but what are you going to do with it?
Cry.
Okay.
God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
He's just said, hey, Tux, you know, here's a bit of aim prac for you. See if you can hit this.
There's no way he hits that.
There's no way. He
How
must
old
be
is
eating.
this?
Yeah, he must be.
Love alive for Mindfreak. If anything, you know, they've been the one to benefit from that. Eco, they've picked up a lot of pistols off the back of that. Quite happy with that exchange. Buy up here for Rooster, though. Chelios, he was thinking, look, money's a bit tight. Could go for a glass cannon, or you'd be expecting the AK and some util, but he's looked at that beast one. He's gone, ooh, that is a B rush if I've ever seen one. Tech 9. Sorry, not the Tech 9, the Mac 10 at the ready. And Mindfreak are going to push lower dark. This is going to get messy.
Yeah, Zune's going to hear all of this. So Mindfreak should be well prepared for this offensive onto B, though the incend comes through. It's not going to matter. Rooster just goes straight through it. They don't mind being fried chicken. That said, the entry's not clean enough. It's a 2-on-3. Bomb plan's gone down quickly for Rooster. Chell would love to recover a rifle. He's going to grab himself an AK, turn back around, nading open the doors. Oh, that could have been a problem if Chell lined up too, but it's all on ASAP here. Clutch Minister. Can he analyze his way out of this one, Pilski? There's one, not quite two, as the spray transfer does not come through. And Mindfreak continue to push Rooster. That's another one now, 9-7, and the scoreline is getting ever closer.
It is, but look, guns taken away. Bomb plant plus the loss bonus comes on in here. Chelios with the Mac 10 purchase is going to be able to get himself an all. So it's not done and dusted just yet. Plenty more opportunities for Rooster to get involved in this half, and this is where we'll probably get a little bit of a slower game from both of these teams as the AWPs come out on both sides.
There's the first attempt from Chell on the T side. Hasn't worked out for him.
Swerzian's having a little bit of a look into lower dark. Should be flashed off the angle here. Hanging around for quite a while. Oh, Tux. He's missed a sitter there. You could tell he was posted up for that one. Swerzian bold to continue challenging this angle.
Oh, he wants to have another crack.
Oh, I mean, this guy is certified repeaker. I'm really not surprised about it. He's not going to get the chance to really do too much. That's a nice play from Mindfreak to try to turn things around, though. I love the flash into Long Hut to try to isolate the lurker and even up the numbers, but they won't find anyone as a result.
No, Drox is getting the info, though, that this push is coming through on short, so he calls for the grenade, and it's a great one from Zune. Unfortunately, that distracts him from ASAP, who cleans him up nicely. In the meanwhile, somewhere, Drox did find himself a double, but ASAP is looking crisp. That's a sharp shot onto DPR, and Swerzian is not having a bar, but oh my goodness, the jump has almost
The instant repeat.
gotten the better of him.
Oh man, this guy, you can tell he's like, I know nothing about him, but I know he's got thousands of games on Face It just based on that.
Has Chelsea in him? No, yes, no, yes.
Oh man,
Look at that
look
flick.
at thick. Look at thick enough to flick.
All right.
Joel's gonna pick up the stick. Love to see it. There you go, Rooster. They finally get themselves double digits. They broke a little bit of a dry spell there, and that's kind of what I was saying. You know, look, the B rush, the Mac 10, fast play didn't work out. Mostly given the fact that you had that player in lower dark, but also like 3 players on B round. Like Mindfreak were definitely set up to be able to hold that round, so we end up in a bit more of a normal round. AWPs out for both teams. Now we're gonna get a long biff though.
Yeah, Drox and DPR combining for that kill onto Slimy, who was kind of left on his lonesome by the rest of Rooster, forced back by an Incend. Again, another decent opener to a round for Mindfreak.
Yeah. Man advantage, long control secured. You're very happy with that as a CT side. Rooster forced to turn tail and look for some opportunities elsewhere. Creeping up Cat. I try to make something happen in towards mid doors here. Off angle from Swerzian.
Yeah, he's going to be keen for it. No doubt about that. He has definitely accelerated in the second half, up to 13 and 15, now 14 as he grabs himself one more. But ASAP with the quick trade will ensure that things don't get too out of hand for Rooster.
Still very doable for them. Especially given that Tux is all on his lonesome on this B side of the map. Hasn't got too much help. I'm loving the movement towards Upper Dark, though. This is the exact kind of play he needs to make. Like, he can't hold everything, so he's just choosing to fight one angle. And he's going to find an open tunnels here. Just going to allow him to really just focus on the fact that the rest of Rooster will probably just be creeping up into this B site. He can probably just get a pick on the cross and play from tunnels. Beautiful.
There it is. ASAP looked right when he should have looked left. Nonetheless, it does allow Rooster in and a bomb plant on the B site. So if Chell and TJP have a bit of a moment here, this is going to be doable. Got a bit of delaying util, some flashes out into middle. There's the first one for Chell. And a second as well, as DPR just goes fishing, and the fish bites back. Chell for a third, and TJP will finish it off. That is about the easiest 4-on-2 you're ever going to see. Mindfreak will want that one back. That has certainly done a number to the economy, and not just that, but also the scoreline.
I mean, Chelios has just pressed his will on them. It's borderline unfair when he's on his game. I'm not even sure that they even did anything that wrong. Like, yes, they were kind of attempting that retake a little bit lackadaisically. Maybe they could have punished the repeat here or there, but that is just some individual brilliance from Chelios. It's what we're used to seeing from him. Swerzian having a little bit of a look in towards long. Nade stack on Longhart. Does find TJP. Tuck's going to headbutt the Molotov and pick up the AK. Now the contact out B.
5-7. Dangerous weapon, and that's exactly why. Double kill for DPR, both Terry and Slimy taken down on the contact play. And just when you think it's gotten out of the grasp of Mindfreak, they managed to pull it back once again.
It's going to be the same story again here. Chell has got to dig them out of a bad situation. ASAP's on the other side of the map. Going to find a lot of space for himself, and he has the time, really, to be able to take advantage of it. But Chell is the main man with the bomb here. He may get caught on the cross.
Maybe not. Molly for the doors to try to get himself up into the A site. Flash gets him across. And now it all is on the shoulders of ASAP for the moment. Chell maybe going to try and catch a player in transition, which proves to be successful. Tuck's a little bit bamboozled. That'll give ASAP even more time to work his way up short. But you've got to wonder, how is Chell going to get across? ASAP needs to win this duel. Does. Zoom goes down. Molly for short. He's got a smoke as well for CT Spawn if he wants it. In the end, Chell just decides to cross anyway. And the smoke will go on to short. And again, Mindfreak might drop a 2v4. Chell spotted the head there of Swerzian, surely. And that info is given over to ASAP for a freebie, and it's just happened again. Chell will finish it off easy as you like. This time it's ASAP and Chell. And Rooster are up to 12. Mindfreak have got to do better if they want to take a map away from a team like Rooster.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, on your map pick, if you cannot convert multiple 4-on-2s back-to-back, you simply do not deserve to win. And, look, I'm going to try to complete a 5-round comeback in a row to be able to try to push this into OT. Oh, I could have sworn that would have connected on the cross there, but apparently not. Long control secured in the meanwhile for Mindfreak. Chell's going to have another crack. Rolling into lower dark. Rooster, as many teams will be doing, work in the middle of the map after forfeiting that long control for the time being. And Mindfreak going to aggress themselves, actually. So we'll potentially get a contest on Catwalk here from both teams.
TJP, Terry, and Cho will be the ones leading that offensive for Rooster. Looks like TJP might just be getting set up for a flash. Oh no, this is bad timing. Mindfreak completely caught off guard, but it ends up only being a 1-for-1. Drox was turned away for a second, and that has saved him, at least.
Flash should set up Terry. He'll take control. Molly closed doors as well as a smoke with to B pressure being applied to both Catwalk and the middle of the map, denying information to Mindfreak, who feel like they have to hold a lot of different angles. That's why you're starting to see some movement from Tux. He wants to try to go and take long control with Drox so that they don't have to hold everything at once. It's going to turn out to be a good move as Rooster centralized all of these players.
Slimy looking for the duel, won't quite be able to win it. That's a spanner in the works for Rooster. Now with 25 seconds left on the clock, that smoke goes up. It allows them to cross a little deeper, but Tux is still...
Oh, what?
Nice double. Beautiful headshot through the box onto Terry. Leaves Chell alone, and I think a 1v4 is out of the realms of possibility. He needed a teammate. 2v4, totally doable. 1v4, bit much to ask. So, Mindfreak, hold on.
Can't believe he flicked him through the box with the single zoom like that. That was dirty. Money looking a little cooked here for Rooster. Going to pull out a scout, maybe a pistol or two. Hero rifle on TJP because he's feeling his oats. I can't blame him. He's got 24 bloody kills right now. Quick movements towards middle from Rooster. And Swerzian thinking about contesting. It's actually Tux on the line early on here. Molly will keep the tees back for now. Oh, Tux. He's not holding the right line here. He could be punished. He's going to cop a leg shot and be forced away.
Well, I'd still say this is a pretty scary round for Mindfreak. A flood from Rooster could definitely get the job done, especially with the space that they've been given. They could actually get a plant for short.
Have some flashes to work with as well as a smoke. It's not going to push anyone off any lines, though. Tux is just quite happy to turtle inside of long. I dare say they're just going to give Rooster the sight here. Tux still going to try to pick some on the cross, though. Unsuccessful. Beautiful shot from Terry to get that plant down for short.
Drox happy to get rid of TJP. That'll be the AK. Picked back up by Slimy. He's got to come online. Chill definitely putting in some work with that scout. We'll see what ASAP can swindle as well with that P250. Slimy falls. ASAP does do some work, though, with that pistol. AK on the floor, but I think that's from the realms of the question here now. It's ASAP with a P250 up against Swerzian, and it won't matter, as it will be another round for Mindfreak. Again, a costly one, but they continue to keep themselves in this contest.
I mean, they've got no room for error. So one player surviving when they've got money to be able to replace the guns, not going to matter too much, but, you know, another costly round like that, and maybe they might have to skip a few pieces of utility or might have to go down to an MP9 or FAMAS, and that could potentially be the breaking point that loses you the game. So need to keep these next couple of rounds a little cleaner than that for Mindfreak, but not going to bother them too much going into this round. Oops, out for Chell yet again. Still pretty decent on the side of Rooster. ASAP considering the challenge. Flash is beautiful. Swerzian cannot see a thing, and he's punished justly.
Patience going to be a virtue for Rooster here, I dare say. They'll slow this round down. That is a very Rooster thing to do.
In 2025, yeah.
Well, they get their reward. Slimy, a double. Drox and Zune both dropping, and now Tux goes floating into Chell's crosshair. It seems like it's going to go out with a whimper rather than a roar for Mindfreak. Again, a bit of a stoic attempt to try to hang in here on Dust 2 after a pretty shambolic first half, but it's the same story as yesterday. I feel like I've watched this same exact game twice. A really rough first half on the T side, and then a comeback being mounted on the CT side. If they would have just given themselves, you know, another 1 or 2 rounds in that first half, and, you know, maybe closed out a couple of these more egregious 2v4 losses. There was something in that one for Mindfreak, but unfortunately, that won't be the case today. 13-9 as Rooster do finish the map off. And yet again, Mindfreak will be going into map 2 of a series down after dropping their pick of Dust 2.
Yeah, as expected. I think they were just a little bit too far behind right from the get-go, going down 3-9. So, look, like you said, a pretty good attempt to be able to come back into this one. Couple of man advantage situations that if they had closed out, then maybe we could have been looking at a dub here or maybe even OT. But as it stands, like I said, if you can't complete multiple 4-on-2s or multiple, man advantage situations, then you simply don't deserve to win. And as expected, they weren't.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. That said, Nuke is not a foregone conclusion. It is a map that we know that Mindfreak tend to pick up every now and then, not necessarily against the likes of Rooster, but again, they've pushed them pretty close on it in their most recent matchup on the map. We'll find out how that all breaks down when we do come back for Nuke in about 10 minutes or so.
I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. 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 Going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going 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 till my speakers come blow.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound.
Map 1 went about as expected. Rooster picking up the victory on Dust 2. Now we're headed on to Nuke, which is their map choice. Mindfreak have a lot of recovering to do in this series, which also happens to be an elimination match in the ESL Challenger League Season 50 Oceania Cup number 3 lower bracket final. So backs against the wall, I think, is one way to describe things for Mindfreak.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, they would definitely be happy if they can make their way into that final, especially given the fact that they're essentially playing against a team that's probably just pucking out the rest of the season. Half of these players have already been announced in another lineup, so I think for Rooster, this would kind of just be, you know, a nice farewell to the boys, a bit of a cherry on the top, but I think Mindfreak, you know, they're going to be a little bitter about this one if they can't manage to get this series across the line, especially given the fact that when they played Rooster about a month ago, things were very, very close. It was definitely a winnable series. Unfortunately, today doesn't feel as contested as that. Dust 2 goes the way of Rooster much more cleanly than it did before. That was the third map decider between these two teams when they played last. And now we start to get into the rest of the map pool that they haven't played against each other in that last encounter, where, you know, this is Rooster changing up the veto and opting to pick a different map into the series here.
Oh, Mindfreak do get the CT start. They set themselves up with a couple of pairs of dualies. It looks like Rooster are happy to go quickly in the direction of the ramp room with the assistance of a couple of decoy grenades by the sounds of it. Swerzian has managed to get himself down toward that B-bomb site, looking for the fight against 4. He's somehow still alive and finding himself a double. Assisted by Azun. 2 guns is better than 1 apparently in this instance, and now it's on to ASAP to try to get some work done. If he gets this kill on the DPR, maybe there was a chance, but doesn't happen that way. And so that leaves TJP alone, and even finding a bomb plant here is going to be a pretty tough ask. He'll gamble on a push back towards ramp room, see if he can isolate this duel on the player that he heard transitioning.
Got a lot to do in the 1-on-3. Already had some big plays over on Dust 2 in man disadvantage situations. No one found on Unbreakable towards that ramp room. Creep up to elbow now. Tux feeling a little suspicious that someone may be creeping in this direction, and we'll catch him on the timing. Cleaned up well by Mindfreak. They've started their CT side well.
Yeah, not a lot of nuance to that one for Rooster. And really that just comes down to missed shots. You know, you got 3 or 4 players dueling against Swerzian and Zune. And no kills confirmed there for Rooster. Pretty much seals the deal. Doesn't mean that this is going to be an easy road forward for Mindfreak, though, as we are going to get that force buy through from the T side. Tech 9s and armor across the board, not to mention a good spout of util ready to go. And it is going to be the Outers smoke wall just to kick the round off.
HEs for Tux as well as Swerzian. If they time them well, they can find some of these players on the cross. There's the first. Chell gonna backpedal a little bit. Not quite caught by the HE. Tux not investing his, so Rooster allowed to safely cross into secret. Drox just spotting out the pixel line, wants to try to drop the smoke and fall away.
Which is exactly what he's going to do, but he has not fallen away. In fact, he dropped the smoke, but he decided to fight. Gets himself a 1-for-1, which is not quite enough. ASAP collects the MP9 and does some good work with it. We're down to the 3-on-3 though. ASAP and Slimy are very tagged up. DPR needs to drop now, and he does. Smoke available. Should result in the plan, at least here for Slimy. They've got no idea where Swerzian and Tux are. But that smoke provides just enough obscurity for Slimy and Terry to make it off of the site. Not sure that this post plant's going to come through for them, but a good Tech 9 headshot or 2 could swing this round back in their favor. Molly in onto Slimy will be the end of him, and Terry spotted out as well. So Mindfreak negotiate the treacherous waters. They get themselves to 2.
Nicely worked. Molly into dark there, just flushing out the Tech 9 into an uncomfortable situation, and the range of the rifle is definitely doing Mindfreak many favors there. It could not be recovered. Bit of a BR-esque scavenging mission to the backside of the vents there from Tux, which probably tells you that the communication on Mindfreak is pretty good right now, even remembering where the kits were dropped and such. With that bomb plant, though, that is going to give Rooster access to some extra funds, and we can see how they opt to spend them. 2 hero rifles invested in this round. The rest of the boys saving with just pistol armor, so they want to give themselves a chance at winning this round and keep pressure on that CT side. Economy, oh, Slimy. He's copped a lot of bullets through that vent, and unfortunately, the molly tickles his toes. So he'll have to have a little bit of a giggle just in the background. Istap also caught on the cross here.
Yeah, definitely not going to plan for Rooster at the moment, is it? Not sure that they're doing themselves too many favors by continuing to force into these rounds rather than just let that full reset come through.
It's true, but a couple of AK headshots could not only win you the round, but at least just get some damage done. Like, this is the kind of situation where if they could just get some damage, then that would be a little bit better. In fact, it's not the AK to deal the first blow. It's going to be Chell's Deagle. Drox will punish TJ for the peek in towards Annex there. Tux now applying pressure from windows, traded well by Terry, who ends up in a 1-on-3.
Need at least one more here from Terry to keep things interesting. He'll be able to get the bomb. If he could get one more kill and get a bomb plant, that'd be huge. Not sure that he's going to be able to do that so easy. I think to get a bomb plant here, he'll probably have to find a couple of kills. Can he make this cross, or is DPR watching? Yeah, I thought DPR was keeping an eye on it. So, not too bad from Mindfreak. Question is, does Rooster just reinvest again? It looks like they will. So, it'll be a smattering of AKs here and there. And the pressure will not release on Mindfreak just yet.
you've seen these buying patterns before where, you know, one round it's 2 AKs, 3 techs, next round it's 3 AKs, 2 techs, or, you know, a Mac 10 or a techie, something like that. Rooster going to give it another cracking out. Full buy is there for Mindfreak. No orb coming out just yet. Door getting blown open. Progression smoke on outside. Slimy maybe trying to find a timing down the vent, but unfortunately he's been taking a lot of damage on the way out. Uppers execute on the cards here for Rooster, and the trades are going back and forth already.
Yeah, Molly into heaven. It's going to start to clear up a bit of space for Rooster. They'll get a quick bomb plant in. Continue to dump the util that'll keep Mindfreak at bay for the moment. ASAP finally gets that bomb plant down. So it's not quite the fast bomb plant that Rooster would have wanted, but they have definitely got what they set out to achieve. And now it's about converting the round.
Try to prep themselves with a little bit of util that they've got to work with, but being held at bay by Rooster's last couple of grenades for now.
One more flash in the hands of TJP, but he's just going to keep gun in hand. Will fall. ASAP good for the trade. Gets himself a double and still aware enough that there could be another player up in heaven. He won't quite be checked as he just survives long enough to cause enough of a ruckus that DPR decides he doesn't want a bar of it, and that's the first round on the board for Rooster. They have continued to try to chip away at Mindfreak, and this time it's worked.
I mean, both of these teams have taken their licks. It's an expensive round for all involved. Gonna have to be a 3-man reinvestment here from Rooster. Same can be said for Mindfreak. A lot of guns being juggled every which way, so round 5 will be a bit of a swing round for both sides. See who comes out the better for it. Util, pretty decent on Mindfreak's side. Are down to an MP9 or 2, but can definitely make use of that in many different angles here on Nuke.
DPR doesn't look like he's got much of a job ahead for him here. Get that smoke in. Keep Rooster at bay, and it's going to be a slower approach from Rooster in this round. A bit more of a default spread. We have ASAP and TJP just working out together.
It's a close wall of smokes, but no one's taken advantage of it to try to cross warehouse or into secret. It's just information denial to the CT side for now. Feels like Rooster are waiting out the initial wave of CT util. Now they've got a bit of a utility advantage as we head into the mid round here. Let's see how they try to utilize it. There's the second wave of smokes across outside. The same wall that they used before, just thrown in a different variation.
Oh, ASAP trying to fake them out. That's worked nicely. It's baited out the grenade.
So just looking for a timing. It's going to be a contact play in the mid to late round, I'd imagine. Some kind of upper split through Annex.
Gonna have to get past Swerzian. Smoke has now faded. It's gonna be go time soon. Rooster dumping those pieces of util, and Swerzian, too much to do, will fall. DPR follows suit. Man, MP, where's he come from? Has he come from vent? I don't know. Yeah, must have. That has
as well
bamboozled Rooster.
Just popping up by like a bunch of gophers. Tux now could find a timing out hard. Punished well by Slimy. That was the important kill that Rooster needed.
Madness.
That had gone the way of Mindfreak. It could be a different story, but now Zune is going to take a long time making his way up secret.
Yeah. You think as soon as ASAP gets that double entry from Annex, that's round over, but there was a world.
I just don't think they were ready for Drox to be doing that. Zune now getting some exits. TJ was just lackadaisically zooming his way into Annex. Slimy, he wants the trade. He's been allowed to cross. I don't think Zune is ready for that, but still may find a favorable time to peek out. He's got to run away from the bomb radius. Really wants to take this gun out of Zune's hand. Zune running out of ammo, but just enough bullets to spray Slimy down at the end of the round. And yet again, both teams taking significant losses, but that's Rooster's second win in a row on this T side now.
Money's fine for Rooster, as long as they keep winning. And it's getting problematic for Mindfreak at this stage. Drox is going to have to again go down to an MP9. We've got a 5-7 out for Tux. So a bit of a spotty buy. Util's looking okay.
I mean, both of these teams are broke again. Like, it's just going to take this last round to finally break them. Establish one of these teams with a bit of a lead.
Well, that's a good start. Where's that come from? Slimy's burned alive. ASAP's been tapped away through the door and a smoke.
Yeah, initial wave of util spamming through from Annex, but Rooster are not done here. They want to really try to force the issue, creeping out inside a door, but they're already being flanked by Drox. This round is just chaos.
Oh, Nade's going to do a huge chunk onto TJP and Chell as well. And here comes Drox hunting inside of that smoke. He hasn't found anybody yet, can't see anything, but eventually locks in on TJP. Terry's really the only X factor here. Chell's got himself one, maybe two. Hang on. Maybe Chell's the X factor. He'll eventually be brought down, but Terry's now in the 1v1. He picks up DPR. And Swerzian's position well and truly known. Terry, on the other hand, could be anywhere by now.
I mean, yeah, exactly that. He's cut sound. He's trying to wait just long enough for Swerzian to maybe make a mistake or hold the wrong angle at the wrong time, but at least that smoke towards front side of door will reveal the fact that Terry is in lobby, or was in lobby at least 5 seconds ago.
Where's he going? He's just going back and forth.
He's just going towards heaven. Swerzian, I mean, the thing is, Terry's made it like, he's thrown up the smoke grenade there and said like, oh, maybe I'm going to pick up the bomb, but Swerzian can clearly see it blinking inside of the smoke, so he's not really concerned about it right now.
This looks like a good peak for Terry, though. Oh, but Swerzian just turns in time. If Terry would have hit the head, that was that. Mindfreak, though, win the round.
NT, Terry, NT. Only one player surviving yet again, but with no bomb plant. Not much of a loss bonus. I was going to say Rooster will surely save here. I think they still will. It's just that ASAP, you know, ASAP looked at his bank account and he said, I've got enough for AK armor, so I'm bloody buying one.
Yeah. And he's hitting some nice entries as well, so credit where it's due. If anyone's going to get that AK, should probably be ASAP, the way things are going at the moment.
See what he can do with it. He's going to be slowly but surely making his way leisurely over to outside. Slimy having a peek in towards Hut. One of 3 smoke grenades here for Rooster, just used to try to cross over towards T-Red. Tux is on his way over into Secret, but there's no flashes to really set him up for a peek here.
Just going to have to win a good old-fashioned aim duel. Maybe hope that Terry can trade him. Tux will fall. That's to Terry. Meanwhile, Chell did drop elsewhere on the map, and these MP9s continue to be a problem for Rooster. But they have got a couple of players down lower. Terry's retrieved an M4. Looks like DPR is going to remain unchecked. They might just want to get the bomb plant inside of that smoke. Zune coming across, has got a grenade in hand. Swerzian as well. That's going to be a delaying grenade. There's another one here, but Zune with the MP9 is just going to go for it anyway, alone. Slimy. Oh, not there for the trade, and nor is ASAP going to get much done. So Mindfreak starting to stabilize now on the CT side. They're up 5-2 now.
They are. They're cooking him a little bit. Bomb plant does come down. A couple of kills for ASAP as well, plus the loss bonus means that he's going to be able to get a Khalil despite forcing himself an AK and armor to take a couple of guns away from Mindfreak, but they are starting to establish control of their economy. I mean, it's something that you outlined coming into this game, and I'm starting to see it, you know, proved true over time. It definitely feels like Mindfreak are just much better in general on their CT side here. The same for Dust 2 as well as going into Nuke. They're much more competitive on this side of the map, and look, I think if they can maximize their success here on the CT side, then it should be a little bit easier to get Nuke along the line. But if Rooster get a couple more rounds, then again, we're going to have to test their T-side calling, right?
Very much so. ASAP's quick. Down into Secret. Mindfreak aware of that. They're going to send DPR on an excursion. Zune there to join him as well, but things are not going well on the top side of the map, so these players might have a bit of work to do. ASAP's going to get across. Zune's position now given away. He's going to try and pick the pace up, but he's got no shortage of Rooster players headed in his direction. That was very much a one and done for him. Meanwhile, ASAP progressing so fast, so confidently, how quick he went down Secret and then into the B bomb site as well. He's just kind of taken that round away from Mindfreak.
Nicely worked. Rooster hitting back straight away. 4 players surviving, the most convincing round that we've seen in quite some time from either one of these teams, and see the effects that that has on Mindfreak's economy. DPR with a little bit of extra cash compared to the rest of the boys could consider a hero rifle purchase, or may just want to save for an AWP, because that's something that we just haven't really seen from either one of these teams. Partially just because it's been such a scrappy game. No one's really had the chance to save up for one, really.
Nade dump into the A site from Rooster. Not going to result in a quicker play from them against the Pistols, but ASAP still getting up to some funny business on outer. Chell doubling down, tripling down in fact, as he just walks his way out onto A. it's amazing how quick the tide can shift as well, right? Like, Mindfreak a couple of seconds ago were winning this half 5-2, and now it's going to be 5-4.
I mean, that's just Rooster. Sometimes you get one of these players that will just explode. It's Chell busting this round wide open out of the door. Wasn't anti-eco, but it just felt a little too easy for Rooster, and this is going to be the second round in a row. It looks like that they're going to finish up with 4 guns surviving. Going to give them the economy to potentially flip this half on its head compared to what it was looking like just a couple of rounds ago.
Well, DPR giving it a good crack there with the 5-7, but ultimately a pretty good round for Rooster. And they'll see if they can find an equalizer. Not too bad of a T-side so far. Money, again, obviously going to be a little precarious for Mindfreak, assuming they do lose this round. They're pretty much brought down to 0. DPR, Drox, and Swerzian with not a single dollar to their name.
Both of these teams pulling out the AWP. It's going to change up the game a little bit. Haven't seen too much aggression from Mindfreak, whether it be outside or any kind of lobby crunches. So we'll see if they want to change that up at any point. The change up really lies in the fact that Tux is actually taking the AWP over towards ramp room. He's posted up, just waiting for a mistake.
Hasn't been too much presence from Rooster toward ramp room, so I wonder how successful this is going to be for Tux. Once again, it seems like the name of the game is just leave ASAP up to his own devices on outer. See what he can do. TJP now wins a duel as well. And in the blink of an eye, again, another round for Mindfreak is looking like it's going to go pear-shaped.
Too much to do now. 3-on-5, you just cannot simply hold everything on nuke. It's going to be gaps on the map, and that's where you need to start to take some good timing. Swerzian was able to take at least one, but traded well. Outdoor by Slimy. Drox alone on the upper side. Tux just pivoting. A little bit concerned that someone could flank him from outside, but also has to hold ramp room. And Drox feeling pressure to push into hut now.
That's an unfortunate turn of events for Drox as he runs right into a bullet from Terry. So Tux will be hoping that he can hold on to this AWP. He's not going to get the chance to have one in the next round if he doesn't. This is a long save. TJP going to have a little bit of a look-see. Won't find too much. So it looks like Tux will be allowed passage into CT spawn. Yeah, Rooster not too interested in the hunt. I mean, just TJP having a little bit of a cursory glance around the place. Will be heard. And so that'll be an easy kill for Tux, who will be able to keep the AWP through to the next round. Not that it was too effective in this one.
Just never got a chance to get involved. And that's a side effect of taking it over to ramp in a passive kind of setup, right? You know, if they go ramp room or someone makes a mistake on the default and tries to go for a little bit of a jump spot or something like that, then maybe you can get a pick, but you want to see the AWP get a little bit more active, especially when you haven't had a chance to pull it out yet. Go for a bit of a hut peek, bit of a peek on outside, something like that, or maybe aggressive ramp room, you know, try to push into radio. Nonetheless, a couple pistols will be brought up around the AWP, and there you go. He is actually going to take a little bit of a risk now, Tux.
It's going to have to, isn't he? It is a nice aggressive line to find himself on, but Rooster not giving him anything. It doesn't seem as though Slimy's going to have any incentive to really push his way into lobby, particularly because this sort of outers creep from Rooster is working so effectively. Chell's already found the opener. ASAP's got so much space. There's no real reason for Slimy to go looking for anything. Tux does eventually give away his position, and that's going to free up Rooster somewhat. They're going to feel a little bit safer now in the knowledge that they're relatively aware, at least, of where that AWP is going to be. Tux did well enough to find himself two, but two's not going to be enough in this instance. It is going to be Rooster that will be taking the lead for the first time here on Nuke, and they're going to go up 6-5 with one to play in the half. Mindfreak could be finding themselves in a very rough spot after this next round.
No. Beautiful turnaround from Rooster. Soon as they started just stringing these gun rounds together, everything really feels like they've kind of got themselves into the groove of things. Exploring some of the, peculiarities of Nuke and the little rooms. Love to see it. See what Rooster's got cooked up on this T-side round. No AWP out on the CT side, and once again, you've seen Mindfreak burn quite a bit of util, as did Rooster in the early to mid round. HE trying to disrupt the wall of smokes on outside. Tux has made it across the secret.
He's going to get himself a kill onto ASAP. That's about the first time that ASAP hasn't actually found the entry. So that'll be a turn for the worse for Rooster. We may see an equalizing round out here for Mindfreak. But Rooster still working this out as control.
I mean, TJ had a couple of flashes, could have set him up, but you can't blame him for just backing himself. The shots he's been hitting.
It's a good one from TJP. Can't quite double down, which would have been what he needed. And so far, well, I was going to say so good for Mindfreak, but very quickly, still coming into an interesting territory, despite the fact that Swerzian's found that double. Terry in the 2-on-1. It's not out of this conversation just yet.
Bombs dropped in the open on Annex is very low. Gonna be hard to convert this one. If Swerzian makes a mistake, gives him an angle, and he gets to tap, and then there could be some potential there. Smoke dropped just to be able to try to cross to get the bomb, but punished on the cross nicely by Swerzian. A 3K from him to finally break the dry spell for Mindfreak as we head into the halftime break.
6-6 was the scoreline at half-time. So both teams walking away with something of substance out of the first half. The only difference really being now, Mindfreak have to move on to the T side, which not only has been a bit of a struggle for them today, but is also the less effective side, let's say, on Nuke. So out of the frying pan into the fire would seem to be apt terminology for Mindfreak's situation now.
Puck's looking for a pick with the P250 and armor on outside. Going to be given a couple of taps. From ASAP, he really looks for a contact off the back of Chelios's flash on outside and will be rewarded thusly.
Nice open up. Terry down low though. ASAP continues to look good. He's up to 15 and 10. His head's going to be knocked off though by Zune. So we are back into the 3-on-3. And Slimy has a 2-on-1, which is not going to go too well for him. TJP also only going to be good for the 1-for-1, which means Chell has to get it done. His pistol work, though, of late has been pretty sharp. Oh, he's been spotted out there by DPR through the gap, and this time can't connect. So another pistol round goes the way of Mindfreak. That's both of the pistols here on Nuke.
Nice double peek. Just simplifying things, catching Chelios off guard as he tries to creep out of heaven. Spotted multiple times. Unlucky. Can be hard to follow instructions sometimes. Peculiar that you won't see Rooster force buying here in round number 2. They're going to back themselves with the M4 light armor buy in the next. And that's where my eyes float across to Drox, who could definitely get a little bit of a farm on here with the Mac 10. It's a slow opening to this round here. For Mindfreak, taking their time. Swerzian going to take a duel towards outside. And the rest of Mindfreak working their way into ramp room now.
Well, no one from Rooster there to greet them. Got the majority of the party happening on outer. They are sending a couple of players down to lower, and that seems to be maybe where Mindfreak are going to end up as well.
Yeah, could get some damage done now. Majority USPs. ASAP does have himself a deagle to work with. But it seems like they're going to go back towards upper.
Yeah, ring around the rosy. But hearing that util now getting dumped down on the B-bomb side and realizing that they've made the wrong call. So it'll be time to head down the vent. They're going to do it silently. So maybe a rude awakening here for a couple of Mindfreak members if they round the wrong corner. Bomb plan has gone down now though, but Deagle headshot in from ASAP. That's going to give him a Galil and ramp room control. Rooster are going to think about this one. Bit of chip damage out there onto Tux. Looks like Rooster are going to settle for some exits at best.
TJ able to find exactly that. DPR goes down. Trying to scramble his way up Megaton. Mindfreak not feeling like that's a good angle of approach anymore. TJP going to try to dive in, pick up that rifle, punished by Drox, who needs to get out of there. Make sure he doesn't go down to the bomb radius. The rest of Rooster just falling away. Quite happy to just let the round elapse with ASAP. Hands on a Khalil. 2 guns going down to the USPs.
Oh, we're going into the secret room. Stop letting chickens in the facility. See, the trouble is there's 5 Rooster players already in.
Unlucky. Where do we want to be in 6 months?
Thunder down under!
Okay, bro. Oh, man. All the smoke across the outside here. For Mindfreak. Throw the smoke to front side of door as well, just kind of obscure all the vision. Keep Rooster guessing. ASAP's made his way over in towards Secret, so you know that he's going to want to get active at some point in this round. Chelios completely surrounded by these players. Catches Swerzian trying to sneak his way and swindle his way in towards Hell.
Oh, TJP gets a timing on Zune as well, but the one-shot headshot is not there for him with the A1S in hand. Still, the scraps are wrapped up, and that is a pretty nice return to form for Rooster. First gun round of the second half goes their way comfortably. they can get that economy building up nicely.
Money's absolutely trash for Mindfreak. And we're really just trying to invest a lot of smokes in the earlier portions of that round to just find some favorable timings for themselves, but none of them eventuated. They were punished heavily for that. Pistols and armor, a little bit of util. Drox with a hero AK will have to get the lion's share of the work done. It's going to take a couple of mistakes for Rooster to drop around like this. Drox up on Silo. Needs to win a first duel, but, you know, it's pretty hard to shoot back when you've got a knife in your hand.
That is a true and real statement. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. That's what the as the saying goes. ASAP's really looking to be on the front foot on this map. You can tell that he's looking for fights. Nothing presenting in this instance. Mindfreak just doing some toing and throwing at the moment outside of, well, outside lobby, outside outer, underneath silo, trying to figure out what is going to be the next option. They've only got a single smoke, so it's going to make it tough to take any map control.
It's got to be dry. Someone's got to win a duel based off a contact. Two-man setup inside of Annex. Will slowly but surely go looking for contact. ASAP once again wants to be the first man to take it. TJP backing him up well. You get the swing out from the rest of the Mindfreak players, and none of them were able to connect. Everyone going down. Bomb on outside, and shell swinging from rafters will clean things up. 4 alive for Rooster. That's 2 really clean gun rounds in a row.
Yeah, and not to mention that on top of that, Mindfreak are going to have to take a save here. So this should be a third relatively clean round on the trot for Rooster. And that'll put players like ASAP up above 10k. So the money is going to look really, really stable for Rooster throughout this half, unless something goes a little bit awry here. But with only one upgraded pistol, the Deagle in the hands of Swerzian, you can't really imagine that Mindfreak are going to be able to put too much damage into Rooster in this round.
I mean, he hasn't shied away from a fight thus far. Smoke going in towards ramp room. HE looks pretty good for Terry. He wants to get a bit of farm on. He actually goes a little bit too deep. I think they found the right timing to be able to swing out onto Terry. Run, Terry! No! He was so young! Oh, God!
Back it up, Terry. Unfortunately, he didn't get the memo. ASAP, though, might be able to deny the bomb plan here. TJP gets himself a kill on his Zazoon. Plan goes down safely, though. So time's starting to work against Rooster. AK in the hands of Tux. Deagle in the hands of Swerzian. Maybe a world, but Tux has fallen, and now TJP looking to take some space. Couple of frags still coming through for that T side. Chell's going to come scrambling across. Door's been closed. Drox here with the M4. Nearly wins the duel against Chell. Defuse is on. Flash in the face of DPR. He can't see anything. Eventually locks in onto Chell. It ends up being an expensive round, so we can shelve that conversation about 3 rounds in a row of Rooster building their economy, because that one is going to cost some reinvestment.
Yeah, but, you know, they've been doing well.
Ah, yeah.
Sometimes you got to splash a little cash, you know, get yourself something nice.
That's not my life philosophy.
For you, I know you enjoy things like, you know, My Little Pony figurines and...
Oh, that's right. That's so me.
Labubus.
Labubus. Yeah, I love Labubus. Labubus.
And, you know, for Rooster, they like to, you know, give Mindfreak a couple of kills, a couple of extra guns. That's fine.
That's fine.
Good. No stress.
No problem. Well, still quite a bit of money in the back pocket of Rooster, so not in danger of getting reset next round.
All the smokes across outside yet again. 2 HEs invested to try to catch somebody on the cross. Here's the second wave of smokes here. This is going to be 4 smokes invested on outside. In fact, all of the smokes have been invested here for Mindfreak. The rest of this round has just got to be dry contact. Whoa! Hello. Man, Terry's getting abused on ramp room right now.
Not having a fun time, that's for sure. TJP now becomes the linchpin for Rooster. They'll be hoping that he can hold, or that he can maybe find himself a couple of kills. There's going to be a flash that goes forward. It actually completely blinds TJP, which prompts him to fire. He's got nowhere safe to go. Can't go back through that smoke. Swerzian waiting on the other side of it. Oh, TJP aware of that at least. Time's ticking away. Does Rooster want to go for this? It doesn't really feel like they're in position to try for this retake, and they will opt to just save their weapons. So Nuke Again, going to be a close affair. This will be a 9-9 scoreline.
Played a month ago. So, kind of getting a similar looking matchup to when these two teams last played. Might get ourselves a 24-round game. Might get ourselves an OT. But finally, we're kind of out of the portion of the game where both of these teams are scrambling for economic control. And look, the economy is really built up for both of these teams. They're being quite responsible with the cash. Oops, out for Shell. We'll have a little bit of a look where he takes it. A lot of out of control. I mean, multiple rounds in a row where Terry has been found on ramp. They've definitely got to tighten that up, Rooster.
Well, they've changed the hold up a little bit. Chell said, Terry, you're not cutting it in ramp room. I'm going to take over.
You are cut from ramp room.
Yes. But not from the team, because we need core 3, and TJ Ping and ASAP are on the way out, so you can stay.
Something VRS.
Yeah.
Something best player in Hong Kong.
That's it.
Shrugs. Looking for a duel on Hut side here.
Well, Slimy's in a good position to find a kill or two. Depends on what TJP. Oh, that's an insane entry from Drox, but ASAP will still lock it down 4-2. So it is an even trade. Oh, and that's fantastic from ASAP. He is just having a belter of a map. 23 and 12. Smoke in. Swerzian going to push through it. ASAP ready for it. Gets another one. This could be an ace from ASAP.
Oh, Terry!
Away. Get that guy off the team. Terry, what is that for?
That's why they're leaving you.
That's right.
Double digits for Rooster here.
Back
That's
it up,
just
Terry.
gorgeous. Oh, man. He's too good, this map. It was great last map. Oh, sorry, no, it was TJP and Chell doing most of the work last map. But that's what we've always said about Rooster. There's just plenty of talented players. They're kind of really been spoiled for choice across multiple different rosters. If one player's having a quiet day, somebody else is getting the work done.
Yep. Attack timeout through from Mindfreak. They'll be recognizing that this is going to be one of the few opportunities that they have remaining to stay engaged in this map. If they lose this round, you're down 11-9. Your money's sort of all over the place. I think it's Roosters to close from there. But around here from Mindfreak just keeps them in with a sniff.
Orb taking over towards outside this time around. That's where the majority of these players are making their way over. In the meanwhile, there has been a big lobby crunch here from Rooster. Map will be flipped. DPR though, Dex Chelios on outside. Now all of this space is compromised and this round gets quite complicated for Rooster to navigate.
TJP not going to be able to prevent them from working their way into heaven. ASAP's also dropped. So Rooster already are going to have to start thinking about a save. I mean, the money's okay. You know, they've got enough to buy next round, but given how close this map is, any gun that you take through here, any extra little bit of cash you can hold on to could really be a difference maker later on down the track. Terry's going to be good for 1. That is not enough. Maybe they're not thinking about the save. I mean, TJP's having a little bit of a look. But DPR has spotted him out. So all on the shoulders of Slimy, and he can't manage much at all. 10-10. All the guns go out of the hands of Rooster. A full reinvestment is not quite going to bankrupt them, but it is going to get them quite low across the board. The only player that'll be really holding on to much cash is maybe ASAP. Okay, ASAP and Chell at about 1k, but yeah, it's pretty grim. This could still flip on its head.
Oh, for sure. It's anyone's game here. Mindfreak may be slightly favoured with a good economy on the T side, and look, a much better game being called here by Tux. Quick pacing, straight into ramp room. Time to test Terry yet again. He's got to turn it on, and he can't. Swersey and swings him straight through the smoke. He's lost his head.
Yep.
And now you see Rooster scrambling into position. TJP trying to catch them on the cross, but pushed away by Utility.
I think Terry's just kind of getting a little bit half distracted by that flash that flew across his screen. You know, he had that half-second thought of, do I turn from this flash? And that was enough. ASAP does get the kill onto Zune. Again, you'd immediately be kind of looking at that and saying, well, maybe Rooster were thinking about the save, but now back to a 4-on-4. But are they really in position for this retake? It doesn't seem like it. Chell and ASAP are miles away, so this is going to be a round that they're going to give to Mindfreak.
Nicely worked. I mean, Mindfreak just continue to abuse ramp room. They are really just hammering that point home. You guys cannot hold ramp. And it's something that Rooster will have to adapt to, will have to respect. And thusly so, Mindfreak can be aware that that conditioning has been set. Potentially call around it. Once again, another 8-man save in the server. A little bizarre. Seen a couple of these already.
Terrorists win.
That'll secure Mindfreak's economy for the majority of the rest of this game. For Rooster, they just want to try to min-max these last couple of rounds and make sure they can continue to try to fight for the 2-0 here. Because they won quite convincingly on Dust. To be fair, benefiting from some big individual plays and some pretty big mistakes in man-advantage situations being made by Mindfreak that they are not making in this game. They are having a much better T-side, so credit to Mindfreak. I mean, despite losing that first map, despite losing their own pick, they are definitely picking things up on the second.
Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, when they're on, they're not a bad team. Double up in ramp room. Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. Again, they just cannot seem to hold up to ramp at all.
He brought Chell as well. He suffered a similar fate. It's a cursed part of the map for Rooster. TJP falls in lowers as well. Oh my lord.
I mean,
Mindfreak just waltzing their way to map point here.
yeah, I think it might just be a map victory as well by the looks of it, because the money is horrible for Rooster. That adaptation, whatever they did on ramp room, just did not seem to work. I mean, there was a round where they had Chell there holding it solo. He wasn't able to do it. Then, you know, obviously Terry's been having a crack himself. And now sending 2 players to hold into ramp room. They had the right idea. They got the fight that they wanted, but just deleted.
And there's just something diabolical about getting an aerial view of the ramp room and then holding up Terry's score.
Yeah.
Like, you really don't have to do that. We get the point. Poor Terry.
Yeah, he's just been battered. He's going to do what he can to try to hold on to this M4, but I don't know that he's going to get back across the safety. That's not going to help. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, they've lined up.
Oh!
Hang on. 25 seconds. Can't. 25 HP, I should say, but can't hold on to it. ASAP will be able to rebuy an M4 or an AWP maybe for Chell. I don't really want to see the AWP come out here, frankly. I don't think that there's been much success. Prefer to see the rifle and all the util. I think Rooster needs something to kind of slow these rounds down, because Mindfreak are getting so much done in the first 20 seconds of the round.
Mindfreak are rolling them on this T side. I'm loving what I'm seeing from them. MP9's out for Rooster here. Last chance to successfully hold ramp, because again, it looks like there's going to be some pressure being applied there. DPR and Tux looking for a little bit of something. But I'm going to respect the smoke this time around. ASAP opens things up onto Drox. That's a player on silo hitting the deck. Swerzin has the potential to trade that, but is not feeling bold enough to do so.
Oh, unless. ASAP's taken 8 damage from that.
DPR's gone down in squeaky door, it looks like. So, more positive looking gun round here from Rooster.
Yeah, it is funny how it looks more positive when you don't lose 2 players in the first 15 seconds.
I mean, might have something to do with the fact that Mindfreak didn't go towards the ramp room and instead went towards outside, where
ASAP's 28 and 14.
ASAP is there.
Yep. It's a good point. Should we hit the part of the map where the guy who is 28 and 14 is holding, or Do we go where the guy is 8 and 15?
I know this.
It's on the tip of your tongue, isn't it?
It's a tough one.
Well,
Going to Chelios. That's not going well either. I guess we'll go to Ramp Room. Nothing else is really working. Unfortunately, ASAP's here. He goes down. Terry's gone. Look, it's gone about as well as it could have gone for them, to be fair. Going into a two-way crossfire like that, it's still an effective part of the map to be testing. But I think Swerzy's just got a bit too much to do here. Whoa, all good.
can't win the round, but that actually does a bit of a number to the CT economy, right? Like, reinvesting is not going to be quite as clean as a result of those 2 kills.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're not wrong. Gel's going to get an MP9. Everyone else has got M4s. No AWP's going to be purchased. AWP's out for Tux. Where does he take it? That's the question. Smoke's invested to outside. ASAP's heading on over there. He's been playing quite boldly, and it seems like he's going to get an AWP heading in his direction. Wall of smoke on the deep side. Molly clearing out the close angle. Flash up the top. Molly into secret. All of the tells are here that ASAP knows he might have a chance to get involved.
He wants
He
to.
doesn't. I mean, I don't know who else is going to get it done here for Rooster, honestly.
Yeah, the trouble is you don't want to over-index on ASAP here and have him overcommit to a fight, go down and throw the round. You do have Chell already down at lower.
He's only got an MP9 though, not even really got any util to work with.
It's true.
It's
A lot of footsteps.
Util. Oh, there you go.
He just keeps getting it done. He's on for
He's so
30
good.
in regulation.
I'm all for 30.
How often do you get a regulation in MR12? A 30 bomb in MR12 regulation? I don't think I've ever really almost seen that. Never. This is a huge game from ASAP. But it might not be enough. It still might not be enough if this goes pear-shaped.
I mean, he's in a good position. Mindfreak now scrambling up towards heaven. There's 3 players ready to defend up, but this is going to go disastrously.
ASAP needs some help. Once this smoke starts to fade, he's got 2 players ready to swing him. Nade in, and he lines up 2. Of course he gets 2. 31 for ASAP in regulation. That is one of the best maps of Counter-Strike I have seen in a while. But it's still not enough to win it for Rooster. That just gets them to OT.
Cheeky 3k damage, as you do. Straight into a tech pause. We've got to check ASAP's computer. Something fishy's going on here. This guy's a little bit too G. Nice recovery from Rooster in the last couple of rounds there, especially because Mindfreak was really starting to run away with this one a little bit. Some really nice punchy rounds on this T side where it felt like they were just continuing to find these entries time and time again.
Yeah, look, this could still go any which way. Maybe some of the wind taken out of the sails of Mindfreak, though. That does concern me. That if you're the underdog team and you have that opportunity to get yourself a map or get yourself a series and then you miss out on that chance, then oftentimes you do kind of see it just restore its equilibrium. The weighting of the match gets on top of you and the favorite tends to then run away with things. Now we'll see whether or not that ends up being the case. But obviously with a bit of extra money in the bank here, Rooster are going to be able to afford everything. They've got Chell with the AWP. I mean, Terry's gone to the AUG. You know, he's trying everything. He's like, I can't hold ramp room for shit. I've tried I've tried help. I've tried getting help from Chell. I've tried doing it on my own. I've tried it with an MP9. I've tried it with an M4. You know what? Maybe I just take the AUG. See if that
Tried
works.
to hold it with ASAP, and all he did was get the poor fella killed.
Yep.
You know?
That's true.
It all comes back to Terry.
Terry!
We love him dearly, though. We love him dearly.
I mean, sometimes you
What
just
did
have
he
one of
do
those
it,
games.
man? He came up to you and he said, "Hey, bro, I'm Terry."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of aura
That is aura.
only one man can have, you know. And man, this really makes you admire him.
To this day, I regret not getting
terrible
a
at
photo.
ramp room. Like, terrible at ramp room, but...
Oh, man. He's just having a bad game. I mean, look, to be fair, some of the deaths he's had, you're like, okay, well, what can you really do there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's just getting his head banged off.
Legit, it's just... He swung through the smoke. I mean, Terry, he's definitely got some magnets in his helmet. Like, the bullets are just seem to be attracted to him.
Yeah. Well, here we go into the OT. Let's see if this one brings with it any winds of change. Tucks down a little bit lower. Bit of chip damage. But sets himself up by red. And has a bit of a look into warehouse, which has been occupied by ASAP prior. ASAP looking for the fight, though. Gets it onto Swerzian and gets away with his life again.
Wow. Beautiful flash from Chell, and then he posts up for the AWP to try to trade another one caught on the cross, and he knows that there's someone on top of Annex. That has been conveyed to him. Unfortunately, whiffs the shot. Drox will complete a rather labored, messy spray, but he's got ASAP hunting him down. Beautiful readjustment. But the problem is everyone else is bloody dead, and he's got to get the rest of the round done by himself. A 1v3 ace is needed from Drox, and he can't do it.
Yeah. See,
First
this
round
is
goes to Rooster.
this is where I start to get a bit worried, actually, for Mindfreak, because toward the back end regulation time, Rooster were in a bit of an awkward spot economically. You know, they had to take some saves. You kind of saw a string of rounds come to Mindfreak, and you thought, oh, okay, hang on. You know, there might actually be something here, but now money's looking good for Rooster. Chell's able to afford the AWP, for example. Everyone's feeling a little bit more comfortable. Do we see a bit of a change, a shift in momentum? If Chell can put together another round like that one, then yeah, maybe. 13-12 for Rooster. They have the advantage to start things off, and ASAP's gone for another aggressive fight on Outer, and of course he's won it. He's up to 33-17.
And disadvantage for Mindfreak. Someone's got to make something happen, and usually Swerzian's the man who is often feeling the most bold for Mindfreak, which is probably why he's dead right now. Zune pegs one back nicely from inside of Hut. Drox has been seen many a time on Silo. He basically lives up here. He's got a tent. He's got some 5G Wi-Fi. Nice little gaming setup. Little grill. He loves to grill hot dogs on Thursday nights. Rooster know his tendencies.
Okay. Well, Mindfreak doing some grilling and some napping.
Doing some chilling.
Bing chillin'. Again, ASAP into the kill feed for all the right reasons, and Chell's there as well. So this round seems to have just kind of fallen apart for Mindfreak.
I mean, Tux has thrown a full execute, and there's no one been there to bloody take advantage of it. He's thrown his full util set from lobby.
Check this out, guys. Smoke, flash, smoke, smoke.
They are so blind right now. I'm already dead, mate.
That's grim.
That's ASAP's taking kill through the smoke. Oh, man.
Think about all of the work that has gone into that round for Tux. You know, all the hours in the server, just throwing grenades, you know, practicing the lineups, making sure that he's got the timing so that he can do it quickly.
Come on, man. Texter used to get 3 there.
That's
Please.
true. Bring back Texter.
Timeout, I can only assume. Coming in from Mindfreak. But it feels like no matter where they go, no matter what they do, ASAP will be there and he'll be hunting them. He's been outside, he's disrupted over there, got some kills, followed up well by Chell. Tried to go towards uppers, they lost a duel and I think 2 spams straight through the squeaky door prog smoke against ASAP as well. I think it's pretty safe to say there's only one option left, Jordan, and I don't even need to tell you
What's
what
that?
they need to do after the timeout here.
Terry!
Where's Terry at? Where's the ramp room play? Let's get it.
Out as util from Rooster. Swerzian, I think, might have seen TJP, or sorry, ASAP crossing there. I think he has, yeah. That grenade's gone into ASAP's position. So ASAP under a bit of pressure here. Molotov, oh no! ASAP, that is the biggest mistake he's made all map, and it still doesn't matter. It still results in a kill. He sucks, but he's just so good.
All roads lead to frags. The man can do no wrong. Cheeky little boost back up into the rafters as Rooster look to rejig their positioning. Terror's on an org. Posted all the way down ramp room. DPR has sneakily made his way into secret. And he's going to keep it, but... I mean, the bomb's on outside, so... I don't know how much that's going to really help you. Wall of smoke. Committed across outside. Yeah, Chell can't see them cross. The T's will make their way down. TJP caught going down the vent. They did not know that DPR had already slipped the net.
Terry, it's time to turn it on. Can he get it done? Org in hand. No. He's just been deleted. Drive-by from Swerzian.
He barely saw him. He saw his bloody shoulder. He was dead.
Yeah. Well, Chell, in with a crack. He's put DPR down to 1 HP. Slimy and ASAP again. ASAP for a double. Where does this guy keep getting all these kills from? Last man standing, Swerzian deleted. 15 for Rooster. And it seems for all the hard work that Mindfreak put in, it might not be enough. ASAP on for the 40 of 40 bomb regulation in MR15, right? Like we used to talk about a 30 bomb in MR15 being a really fantastic map, right? Because that's essentially 1 kill a round, basically.
Yeah.
This could be 40.
Insane. And he's playing with WA ping as well. Like, this guy's made of different stuff. All the WA players I used to play with would just whiff and then say, oh my god, man, if I had 5 ping, I'd be the greatest. Mac 10 out for Chell again. Does seem like Rooster wants to pick up the pace here, Jordan.
What's Chell going to get up to? Vent drop? Looks like it. Has made it down, no problem at all. Takes 2 damage.
He's dropped it. He's locked it. The rest of Rooster are looking to join up with him. Hello, Zune. Lovely toes you have there. He's got himself a pedicure.
Oh, Chelios has licked him up.
Oh, man, that's unreasonable. You can't be saying that on ESL CS. You absolutely can't.
Let's be real, we've heard worse. Swerzian. Oh, gonna go down. This Mac 10, it is definitely demolishing. And that might well be the end of what ends up being a pretty disappointing map. And maybe even serious as well for Mindfreak, because both of these maps have felt like they've been competitive. ASAP still on for the 40, but not this time. He's not quite going to get it. 38 is where he's going to end this map, because Tux is definitely not getting this one done. 16 and 12. Nuke will go the way of Rooster. They get themselves the 2-0. And Mindfreak will exit the ESL Challenger League Cup number 3. We lock in Rooster and Semper5 for yet another grand final appearance.
Yeah, credit to Mindfreak, though. I mean, I haven't seen them play too much lately. I haven't seen this current roster, but I think looking at the names on paper, they're definitely playing like, you know, it's better than the sum of its parts. You know, they're playing against a Rooster roster and really pushing them the distance, requiring ASAP to drop 40, requiring Rooster to win multiple man disadvantage situations to be able to win these games. So credit where credit's due. I mean, it stings. It sucks that we saw Mindfreak lose this game. They could have secured themselves a spot in the grand final, but Rooster needed to play pretty well on an individual basis, I would say, and show us some brilliance to be able to get this game across the line. And unfortunately, you're playing Rooster, so that's kind of just par for the course at this point.
Yeah. Looking at that performance, though, today from Rooster, I think you're going to be saying we'll need a little bit more out of them tomorrow if they're going to take the fight to Semper5 and, you know, take away one of these ESL Challenger League Cups, because we've had 2 on the trot for Semper5. They'll get a 3rd if they win here. And there's a very good chance that they might just be getting that automatic qualification, basically, to ESL Pro League, the way things are looking, right? Unless Rooster can get it done tomorrow. Well, jury's out as to whether or not Rooster exists by the time that ESL Cup number 4 rolls around. I don't believe that there's going to be really any other team in the region that's going to be able to take the fight to Semper5. So I think it kind of has to happen tomorrow, or it's never going to happen.
I mean, knowing Rooster, they might just randomly throw Rackham in the roster or something, or like bloody Danny G or something like that, you know? You just never bloody know with these guys. But in their current iteration, FaceApp's playing like that. maybe they peak at the right time and have one last ride with the boys before they do the, you know, pull Walker off the other exit of the highway or whatever. Then, look, they've got a shot, but I think you'd definitely be backing Semperfi to get that one done.
Well, we'll find out, I guess, Pilski. That'll be a conversation for tomorrow. That's us done and dusted for today. Do appreciate you guys tuning in. Come back same time, same place tomorrow. I'll be there to guide you through that grand final. Pilski's taking the day off, as he usually does, because he's lazy. But it should be a good one. Rooster and Semperfi. We'll see you there.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become